This didn't actually happen to me, but actually to a friend, a close friend that I used to work with. For the sake of the story, I'll call him Mike. Me and Mike used to work security together, and we became really close friends after a couple months. We were interested in the same things, and we were both very talkative and approachable, so we naturally clicked. I remember Mike started coming into work looking really tired in the morning. Granted, we worked early in the morning, but he was usually real energetic in the morning, and the time never really seemed to faze him. But he started coming in looking real tired. His eyes would have bags, and he'd always be yawning. I remember always asking him, like, "Are you okay? Did you party last night or anything?" And he would always say, "No, he's fine, he's fine." I noticed that he wasn't his normal self. Mike would stop being the talkative guy that everyone knew, and more like a loner. So after a couple of days or a couple of weeks, I went up to him again, and I said, "Bro, seriously, what's going on? Are you cool?" He looked at me with a very straight face and said, "Do you believe in the paranormal?" I'll never forget that. It was just straight to the point. No humor or anything involved, just straight to the point. He just wanted to know. I told him yes. "Yeah, I do believe in it. Why?" And he proceeded to tell me how he and his family have been getting attacked by some kind of paranormal entity at home. I was shocked. I didn't even know what to say. What do you say to that? I asked him to elaborate, and he began to tell me everything that happened in his home for the past couple weeks. He said there was some kind of spirit or entity that was attacking his family, and mainly his girlfriend that was living with them. I really wanted to understand what was going down, so I asked him a bunch of questions, and from what I gathered, him and his family have been living in the house for over 5 years. Nothing out of the ordinary has happened until now. So, it's not like this was a reoccurring issue. Nothing happened for 5 years. Then all of a sudden, things started happening. He said they first started noticing it when they would walk in a specific room that was just freezing all the time. The other rooms in the house were warm and normal, and one room was always just cold, ice cold, but they didn't think anything of it. What started happening is they started feeling, specifically his girlfriend, started getting pushed and nudged around the house. She woke up one night choking and couldn't breathe, and my friend Mike woke up seeing her that way and didn't know how to help. She eventually was let go and she could breathe again, but they just had no idea what to do or what just happened. Mike would tell his parents, and his parents actually did not believe in anything paranormal, so they didn't believe anything was happening. His younger brother, though, actually did believe, and his younger brother would be witness to some of the paranormal activities himself. Eventually, his girlfriend would constantly get attacked and harassed, but also his brother would. They'd wake up in the middle of the night having their bed just slammed and pushed across the room. Mike would never get affected himself, but his girlfriend would always get attacked. It happened so much the parents could not deny it anymore. The parents were scared for their kids and for Mike's girlfriend. At one point, Mike's girlfriend was walking downstairs and got pushed. After that, they all started sleeping together downstairs on the floor. Even the parents. Nobody would sleep in their bedrooms, and they'd all sleep together as a family on the floor and have to deal with these horrible paranormal activities that they all would witness at night. Mike would tell me they'd all wake up at night and see things flying around the house. They'd hear noises, and they'd all be scared together and scream. One day, Mike's girlfriend was walking downstairs with Mike, when out of nowhere she lets out a big scream. Mike looked at her, and what he saw was 3 claw marks scratching away at her chest. You just seen the claw marks appear out of nowhere. They just appeared. She freaked out and screamed, and at that point, the father had enough. He decided to gather his family and rent a hotel. So I was working with Mike, and he was living in this hotel for a couple months. They simply just abandoned the house, foreclosed on it, and never looked back. They eventually rented a house and moved out. I, from time to time, ask Mike some questions, but he doesn't really like to talk about that anymore. Mike himself went from not believing in any kind of paranormal activity to completely believing and just being paranoid. He closed that chapter of his life and moved on. I would ask him things like, did you guys ever play with the Ouija board? Have you been doing anything? Any kind of witchcraft? Any kind of paranormal? Anything? And he would always say no. Everything was normal. We never did anything. It just happened one day.